What's up, YouTube? I've got a crazy guest here today. This is a guy that starts on the American dream in a path that kind of everybody says is the way. You know, I don't know about you, but I didn't really want to grow up doing dirty jobs. As a matter of fact, even though I'm a roofer, I didn't actually put on really any roofs until I started doing them free roofs and charity work and stuff. But this guy right here, he started on the side of the fence. We'll call it the white collar side of the fence. And the white collar side of the fence, you go to corporate America, you get a job, you work your way up, but you work with, the other side of things. And, there's a lot of people in America, though, that are looking for something different. They're looking for kind of this switch. They're doing what I call the great American collar flip. And that's where you realize that your head's in the clouds, your feet in the dirt. And sometimes that might mean a dirty job, a blue collar business. I call it a blue collar entrepreneur. That's why we've got an 8-figure roofing business owner by the name of Mike Holmes here to tell your story. What's up, my man? How you doing, bro?
What's happening, man? What's happening, brother? What's going on?
Hey,
good to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
So you never thought you would be a roofer?
Never crossed my mind, man. Not at all. I was actually back in the day, I used to run some check cashing stores. I did some serving for a little bit, ran some check cashing stores, got out of that, ended up doing the mortgage thing. I was a mortgage guy for about 10 years, and then right around 2008.
You've always been about that paper.
Yeah, wherever the money's at. Where's the money? I see you got Mr. Money bags on the wall. That's
what'd you learn from the mortgage industry that applied to roofing?
The relationships. One of the things that sticks out to me first when you say that is how a lot of in the mortgage company, the big banks had the reps come into your office. Mm-hmm. Then I learned that was the B2B. If the big banks are doing that, they're sending some attractive looking 9 times out of 10 female in your office to meet the guys. I learned that's one of the biggest things I learned is that B2B matters. Mm-hmm. Going to other people and going in those offices and shaking hands and making friends matter.
And beautiful salespeople matter.
And good looking people make more money.
Thank God we got Tanya here and you ain't got to deal with me. Right. All right? Because you done dealing with me.
Right. Good looking people make more money.
Because
you'd rather talk to a good looking person and a smiling face and somebody that you like than somebody else.
Absolutely.
Right? So I learned that. I also learned that people usually go back to the people that educate them. Mm-hmm. Because when you go off to people, and I also learned when you go to people and you're trying to sell to somebody, nobody wants to hear that shit. They don't want to be sold to. People like to buy, but they don't want to be sold to, right?
Right.
So nobody wants to hear. It's just like if you go to a car lot and you're there to buy a car, but how do you feel as soon as you see
commission breath?
Yeah, as soon as you see commission breath. I never heard that one. But as soon as you see that car salesperson coming, you don't want it already. I don't even want to hear what you got to say. So people don't like to be sold to, but people do like to be educated, right? Because they can take education with them somewhere and they can turn this way. Now they're the educated, right? So people will always receive education. So I learned that, and I learned that once you educate somebody and you go back, you're the person that educated them, then they almost feel indebted to you. So I like to do a couple of things. I like to try to educate people, not only your own people that you deal with, but also your relationships, your referral sources, be they insurance agents, property managers, realtors, whatever. When you educate them, it's different than trying to sell them, and they know it. And there's a thing there too, and they get that. But you know what the difference is? The difference is you're helping increase their value. So when you're making it about the other person, because if you're educating them, their value is going up because then they're stronger and better at what they are, which means they can pass the pockets.
And everybody complains about the new homeowner that wants the reviews, that wants the technical information, that can Google all the different types of materials. What do you have to say about that technical homeowner?
I think that's relevant. I understand that person because that's just, we got the Gen Z, Gen X, whatever. So there's a different gens, and I think that matters. But then that as long as that's a piece of your pie, if that's your whole pie, you might go hungry unless you're this review-fed person, which helps. But I think that there's nothing like organic, and whichever way you get your organic business, that's the best thing. The organic's good, but you have to feed the digital space. You just have to. You got to be a hybrid. I think one thing that I also learned from that, and other things we were talking about a little bit earlier about fighting and wrestling. I see you guys almost. It seems like you got a whole wrestling and fighting team around here. But hey, how you doing? You fight too? Okay, how you doing? You fight too? Okay, cool. Damn, everybody. If you guys don't know, I've never been here. It's my first time to leave a space. He invited me down here to Naples. We're in the office. The next space is the back end office that runs this. In the last room, there's a mat this thick on the floor with a punching bag, and there's a wrestling room. So he's real with this shit.
and you grew up wrestling, man.
I did.
What'd you learn from wrestling?
I loved wrestling. It was fun. Okay, so first I didn't like wrestling. I thought it was gay. I thought the singlets. I'm like, I'm not wearing that stuff. My dad's like, like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, football. He was like, well, you're not going to the NFL. He was like, you're not going to the NFL, but you are going to get into a fight. And I went, and I came from Jersey, and then I ended up in Minnesota on the suburbs. And at this time, I was in Apple Valley, and then I went to Lakeville. And he was like, one of these little white boys is going to try to fight you. And guess what? They're not going to want to stand up and box you. They're not going to want these hands. They're going to tackle your black ass, and they're going to take you to the floor, and you're going to wrestle. And you don't know how to wrestle.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, yeah, if I fell to the floor, I think I'll be in trouble. That's when I'll be in trouble. So he convinced me to wrestle. So I wrestled, and I got good at it, and I liked it. I wasn't the best. I didn't go state and all that stuff, but I was good. I was good enough. I mean, it tied into football because you learn people's body, you learn the way you think. I kind of broke things down in a methodical way. Like if you want to take this table down, well, you learn to chop a leg down, and you learn to make sure. I also learned that how to be efficient with my movements, because you can get tired real quick. So if you do something and you do some sort of movement in wrestling, fighting, business, you want to spend the least amount of energy to get the maximum result. If I go with this guy, why am I going to do all this extra stuff that's going to tire us out? And that would be a part of my strategy. I would just sit there and let this guy waste his time and waste his energy and do all the fancy stuff. Are you done? All right, let's go. Boom. And then now I got an advantage because you didn't wasted all this stupid ass breath doing nothing. So I wanted to be more efficient. And now in business, I go out hashtag smart lazy. What's the smartest way for me to be the most lazy? Where can I put the least amount of energy and get the biggest effective impact? Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things that came.
Hell yeah, man.
What about you?
We got a segment of this show. We call it the bully beatdown. Everybody thinks, oh, Lee, you're out there calling everybody out. But you got the wrestling experience. Yeah. You got the heavyweight. We got to go in the back on the mats and see if you can take me down. What do y'all think? What y'all think?
Right,
think we got to see this? Listen, everybody's got to see the bully get beat down.
I ain't wrestled. I ain't done nothing in a minute, but whatever.
Okay. Hopefully I don't get taken out through the drywall. We don't have mats up. We'll have to take it somewhat.
Shape, out of breath.
Hey, listen.
Cheeseburger, what's up?
Have you ever tried jiu-jitsu?
I did one jiu-jitsu practice. It was like a free practice with some friends, and we went in there. And I remember this, my boy Joe and Chiho, and we went, and they brought me in there. And then we did the sparring rolling part, whatever you call it. And since then, they keep calling me Silverback. They're like, Mike, you're a freaking Silverback gorilla. Just just
tossing them.
Just this big. They weren't used to dealing with. Yeah, I don't know.
Because you know how to wrestle, and you're just an absolute muscle.
In some places, I got some daddy Teletubby too.
You got some Teletubby too.
Yeah. But yeah, it's yeah. I'm good. Mm-hmm. I'm comfortable. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I spent my time doing some of that, and we did some other styles of fighting too. Like when I was in college, I got a PhD. It was a pool hall degree, and then so we hung out in the pool hall a lot with a bunch of my Asian friends, and then we used to always just spar and everything. So we were like the group of kids that every day we went to school, but then every day after school we were in the gym playing around and then sparring and stuff. So it was fun. I like that. But you have to be well rounded, right? Yeah. And it's not about tough guy shit. Because like you said, bully. What'd you say? Bully beatdown?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I hate bullies too. I don't care where you're at, where you're at, what job, position, whatever. But because the thing is, a lot of people might associate fighting with being a bully. No, I think that's the lower amateur stuff. Like the higher up you get and the better you get, the more you fight, the more you don't want to do that stuff. And then you kind of look down on people that do it because it's an abuse of power.
Right.
So like actually the more you elevate, it's like it's again, you build value.
Well, let me tell you a fucked up story, dog.
Tell me what's up.
I'm going to be telling on myself right now. I need to call the cops and give them a warning, dude, because so I pull out on my driveway, and this is 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm headed to the gym, and I stop at my stop sign. It's dark. There's nobody around, and so I do the little scroll on my phone real quick, and somebody's behind me, and they zoom around me, and I see it's this young kid, and he kind of hauls ass, and so I get pissed off, and I zoom up next to him, and next thing we know, we're at a red light, and I'm always, like you said, I'm jazzed up, I'm sparring, I'm doing all this stuff, and we're both at a red light where when keeping it real goes wrong, both of us jump out of the car. And the truth is like homeboy didn't want none, but the fact that I even got out of the car goes to show that I still ain't got it all together. Oh man, but all of that rolled through, like, dude, I will never throw the first punch, dude. Yeah. I got way too much to lose. People look at me like 100%. A motherfucking come up, dude. Yeah. And you start thinking about it like guys like 50 Cent or Mike Tyson. I mean, what happened if they knocked out every single motherfucker that talks shit? Yeah,
that's like Jay-Z got a line for that. He goes, "You shoot me, you're famous. I shoot you, I'm brainless."
Yeah, for real, dog. Yeah. So For me, I had to tell old boy just to get back in the car. I gave him the address to my MMA gym, and I fucking kept it moving. And I was so fucking hot. I was like, you should have beat the shit out of that little punk. You should have beat the shit out of that punk. But
I've been in that position.
I didn't.
I've been the guy that jumped out of the car. I've been on the side of the highway a couple times.
Yeah. Well, that was just like last week. So.
I was saying 10 years ago. You're like, oh, Thursday.
But that being said, the right decision was made. We'll keep it moving.
I'm proud of you for that one, Lee.
Tell me a little bit about your story. Man, you were a mortgage broker. How did you get into the roofing business? And tell us a little bit about your journey in the roofing.
I got into the mortgage business by accident. It was at the end of the height of the mortgage business when it was the 2008, 2010 recession, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, that's another big nugget. It's a recession right now. If you're watching this now, it's the best fucking time to start a roofing company, isn't it?
I didn't even know it was a recession. That's a good sign.
That's a good sign. People be looking for jobs.
Yeah, that's good. And we're hiring. Lee's down here in South. You're a lot of places, actually.
Yeah, but Minnesota's hot, man. And if you're up in the north, you can sell windows, you can sell roofs, you can sell big ticket items. People are motivated. They have to get it done before winter.
Yeah,
and you get a lot of storms.
Yeah, we do.
And you got a badass local company.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, we get a lot of storms up there. It's pretty consistent. I mean, my model's been pretty much built almost entirely off of storm. This last year, I got into ice dams this year, and that kept me busy. I tried to do some little temporary partners.
Ooh, let's get into that because a lot of these guys may not be in a bad hail market. And so how do you get the roofs bought off of ice dams?
Well, it wasn't getting roofs bought off ice dams. What happens is when everything dies down in wintertime, there's nothing to do. Snow builds up, you get the ice dams. Insurance companies, from what I found out, they will only pay for ice dams if it's a current leak. Then they'll remove the area where the ice dam is. There's that. But the thing is, it's an emergency service, kind of like tree service or something like that. So most times insurance companies aren't paying for it. It's just an emergency service, right?
Right.
So I got into it because somebody that I knew was out boots on the ground, and I hear about it every year, and I just kind of blew it off like, whatever. That and plowing, whatever. But then this year, the guy wanted to go in it, and he didn't have the money, all of the money, so I went in 50%. He was boots on the ground. I could spend a little bit of time. I went out there, and in the market that we were in, the top people out there, I think ice dam guys were charging $680 an hour for a 3-hour minimum. We came in at $500 for a 2-hour minimum, and then $400 an hour after that. Realistically, most times I just charge people $400 an hour, and it was over 70% profit.
Nice to make money over the winter.
Yeah. It was. I don't know what my exact numbers are, but I know it's over $10,000. But and then it was something to do. I didn't take it entirely serious until like once I started realizing, I'm like, oh, I should have been doing this a while ago. I paid the machine off in 2 weeks, and then all my expenses, whatever, to get started, I was done in 2 weeks, and then after that it was profit. Bumped heads with the guy that was over there. I wanted to grow it, and he wasn't with that. And then when we left, the guy tried to keep the machine. So when you're talking about a situation where you had to bottle yourself up, trust me, I was real hot. I had a situation with this guy. I'm not gonna say his name, nothing, but like I had, it bothers me now. I had to be like, if I do this, then I got this to lose. I got way too much going on. You can keep the little bread that you're willing to fight for, because the lawyer costs more than that. So and I just moved forward, right? So I'm just moving forward, and I realized that it's a good thing. So if you guys are out there in other industries where there's ice dams, it's not. I don't think it's an every year thing, but I highly recommend getting into it. It's not that complicated. It's really it's risky. It's roofing on ice, so it's a little risky, and there are some things you got to pay attention to, but it's a good thing.
What's the name of your company?
Repair King.
Talk a bit about how you get business, like with the name of your company, a little bit.
Repair King. Give the king a ring. No, we're up in Minnesota. We do primarily insurance claims. We get a lot of calls and a lot of inbound stuff
from repairs.
Ooh. Yeah, right. And typically our attitude is we don't like repairs. You don't want to do repairs. They're time consuming. Get the handyman, get the labor, yada 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 yada. But it's what I found out accidentally was that people will talk to you for something smaller before something larger.
Yeah.
So they'll call you for what? A shingle missing. Property management company calls me because one of their properties has a shingle missing. Coincidentally, this was the same property manager that I tried to walk in the front door, but they don't want to hear you in the front door. But you can catch them on lunch break talking about a missing shingle.
They put you to work on a shingle repair, boy.
Put me to work.
Yeah.
Last time I did that, we did one. It was a shingle repair. It ended up being a $37,000 job because we got the roof done, the siding done, some interior work done, and so that one little missing shingle, one little repair, turned it into something else. So that's what we like. We like to use those for relationships, and a lot of times, so we'll go there, we'll do some of the small repairs. I got my small, if it's small enough, I'll just like tell the guys I don't even want to hear about it. Just get them on the program, put them on hail recon, monitor their address for the future, tell them we're going to be calling them in the future when it hails, give them some service, be a friend. Can we get a review? Try to get a review out of them, and then just put them in a database and their past customers. They come back later.
See, a lot of people watching this think they need to work harder to make more money. And you said something.
Hashtag smart lazy.
Okay, so one of the things that must be one of your like hacks is getting to property managers for smart lazy.
Yeah.
So do you sell to property managers, and how do you sell to property managers?
Property managers are a big thing. What I found out with property managers is this. I think when a lot of people try to sell that, they're tunnel vision. I know what I want to talk to you about, and I'm going to get this across because I was thinking about this whole car right over here, and I know you're going to say this, and I'm going to say this, but as long as at the end I get the signature, we're good. And nobody wants to hear that shit. So right, so like I like just finding the human behind all the other stuff. So when you get off work and you want to be a human, talk to me, because that's where I do best, and getting the human out of people, being real. So with a lot of property managers, they hear all that all day. Oh, you're a roofing company, and you want my business, and you want to make $1 billion. They don't want to hear that. They might want to hear how you can make their lives better. They might want to hear how you can help their clientele. They might want to hear, okay, well, if you have give me your problem files. Some people like that sometimes. I know you got the great suite, the $1 million property. Give me the one that's giving you a headache that you would love to get off your desk.
Right.
Give me the property owner who's upset with you because they got denied. Or let me show you how we can develop a program. I've made up a program. I'm wondering what I should say on here because who's watching. People, are you in Minnesota? Press like. No, but there's a bunch of programs that you can do, and you can create some creative programs that can develop a relationship for the pre-sale. You should be selling before the event.
Let's break that down, because that could be the biggest fucking bomb that we drop inside of this, and it's almost so big you can't even talk about it.
Exactly.
So if y'all are watching this and you want to know how to get spoon-fed deals that are like pre-sold, the hottest leads, what he's talking about is basically developing a relationship with the property manager where you tell them, hey, you don't want to look bad in a storm, you don't want to lose a client, you want to give a VIP service. Here's what I'll do. I'll monitor the properties, I'll do the repairs, I'll do them for half price if you need me to, I'll do them for cheaper than any roofer if you need me to, I'll be there on a moment's notice if you need me to. Hell, sometimes if it leaks, I'll fix it for free if you need me to, right?
I'll document the damage before the storm gets there, take all the pictures, put them in my program, monitor your property, and when something happens, I'll be there if you need me to.
Now, that's the pitch, and that does get them to say, okay, maybe you're my friend, but what's really taken over is this new thing called contract administration. And I don't know if you have been a part of any of these programs, but it's literally one of, there's companies out there, and their business models is to literally have the vendors pay a contract administration fee. And the property management company, as long as it's before the storm, can negotiate with a condo, can negotiate with a commercial business owner to say, hey, if we're going to be helping with an insurance claim, if we're going to be doing $1 million roofing project, then we're going to be charging you a fee for taking care of it. Now, here's the thing. They waive the fee. And so the way it works is the contractor pays the fee. If you're watching this and you want to know how to get property managers to do this contract administration fee, I can get you a copy of the contract. Just have to type in property manager, get on a call with Tanya. But the reality is that, there's a lot of deals getting done all over. This management company, there's a lot of them, but they're actually acquiring other management companies. And the whole idea is that Wall Street and hedge funds are investing into this business model of there's so much money in insurance claims from roofing. If you acquire a property management company and they control a lot of condos, that just off the contract administration fees, you could add millions of dollars in profit to the property management company.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That's pretty big, isn't it?
That's huge.
What does that sound like, though?
Sounds like opportunity to me.
Okay. But what do you think other people might say?
I think they should agree.
Yeah, but
I think they might not, maybe not
might
process
say
it
you're getting
first.
paid for referrals. You
could say that if you want to. What about this? What about the property managers when property managers or homeowner associations, when they go to, they sign their contract with their condo that they're managing, a lot of them have a project fee, right? They might say, okay, we do all this other stuff for you, admin, rent rolls, whatever, we do all this stuff. But when you guys have a project, insurance related or not, we charge a fee. And that's their business model, and it makes sense. What about getting that? What about the fact that fee might be PWI? It might be paid when occurred. It might be an occurred expense.
Right.
That's a result of the claim. So getting that fee for them covered. in the insurance claim.
And I've heard of that as well.
Yeah.
And so if you're watching this, when you go to a property manager, not only do you talk about retaining their clients, you're talking about how you can legally show them how to make a ton of money off of insurance claims.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's dope.
It's a beautiful
thing. I mean, just that one thing right there where I talked about that's adding value to them to save their clients money.
Mm-hmm.
That makes them more valuable as a property manager, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if their property company say, okay, I just did one with $300,000, so they had 7%, that means they're charging their client $21,000.
Nice.
So they have to turn to them and have this conversation to say, oh, you got a $21,000 bill on top of your deductible. So, but if you could find ways to take care of that legally, and like maybe the one I just said, right? Now you just saved them an uncomfortable conversation and made them more valuable. And now when they're sitting down having that conversation with their new client, they can also add something else to separate themselves from their clientele. So I mean, like that's a strategy that I like to try to do when we go to B2B is teaching that. Forget me, right? Who gives a shit who I am? It doesn't matter. Nobody. But right now, how can we help you out? What can we do to make you more valuable in what you do, so that when I walk out the door and then you forget me in a week, you're carrying something that you're more valuable. So when I come back, we can talk about that. And if I can provide some value for you, then maybe there's something there, right? You know,
hell yeah, brother.
Long-term relationships, right?
So, you talked to us earlier about a soft spot where someone got you, you know, and you're a business owner. There's going to be these times where basically whether a best friend starts their own company or somebody's your top salesman. I mean, I buy a Rolex every year for everybody that sells $1 million. And there's always somebody that shows up to the dinner just to get the Rolex. And then the next week or two, they're gone. I mean, it's just life.
I'm quitting after next Thursday's dinner.
But, you know, every time it's like a dagger in the heart. You try to figure out how you did wrong and what you did. But, you know, any moments like that anything as far as like those tough things that you've been through or how to come back from those?
In business, some tough situations. I mean, honestly, it happens a lot. I've been on both sides of that too. You know, even the Repair King, I started out as the sales guy.
Oh, tell us that story.
Yeah. Okay. So, Repair King came into Repair King because I was a mortgage guy. I had an investment at the time that was paying really well, and to be honest, I didn't have to work. So I just sat at home and I made some music. I was doing music stuff on the side. This guy was borrowing money, going out knocking doors. Eventually, I was like, "What you pay me back? What are you doing?" So then I started going with him, started knocking doors. I was like, "Oh, this is easy. I can get people to say yes." So I started walking down the street, getting people to say yes, and that was good. And I spoke a little Spanish, so when I got a Spanish person, I got to see the sale, and I was like, "That's all you do?" I was like, "No, come on, let's go. I'm hired."
It's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap. So then I started doing that, but it was at the end of the year. So short story long, I ended up going with a friend of mine. I called him for a question. He had me go out to Colorado. He said, "I'll teach you how to run the business. You can run it. I'll teach you how to run it out here in Minnesota. You go do it in Colorado. You do it in Minnesota." Went to Minnesota. Our thing didn't work out. He was one of those bullheaded guys, right? And then I moved around. I left Repair King, went back to Repair King, and stayed there. And then at one point I started to branch out and do my own thing, and then I went back to Repair King again, and then this time I ended up acquiring the place and taking over. And,
there you go, man.
Yeah, and the owner still works for me now, so it was
awesome, bro.
Yeah, it was cool. So even within that, I got to see the guy who leaves. But I tell people that are with me that story. I go, "Yo, I get it. I left twice, and I came back because sometimes I realized the value in
what made you come back?
Well, one was a guy didn't want to pay me money. He didn't want to expand. He wanted to travel the road and be everywhere. And we had a big tornado right in Minneapolis, and I was a mortgage guy, so I knew all housing and realtors. I'm like, it's in the black part of the neighborhood too. I'm like, I need to be there. This is over in North Minneapolis. I know a lot of realtors, mortgage people there. I mean, this is it. Like, they don't want to talk to you. Trust me, they want to talk to me. You know, so I wanted to go there. And then he was like, "We don't do tornadoes. We don't do tornadoes." And I was like, "I know we don't do the messy stuff, but there's a nice happy medium."
Something.
There's something, right? There's a nice happy medium there.
You found wind damage?
Yeah, so we argued about it all night. So finally I'm like, "All right, fine. You're the pro. I'm learning. We're not going to do it. Fine." So we go back down to La Crosse where the hell was, and then I tried to call him next day, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy doing something." I'm like, "Where you at?" He's like, "North La Crosse." I'm like, "North La Crosse didn't get hail." He goes, "Yeah, I know the tornado." Packed my bag, drove off, left. I was like, "All right, man." We just had this whole thing. So then I fell back into it, but I went back to it because why did I go back to it? Another thing was the power of relationships and knowing who you're dealing with. And the guy Thad that I was dealing with was known for, honesty. Everybody had their faults, but he was an honest guy. He knew his shit. He showed up. He was there, and I had a reign of freedom. So I went there, and I knew the opportunity of growth. I knew I was going to end up probably doing this and taking over like I did, but it just happened to work out that way.
Because you're a door-to-door beast.
I love door-to-door. I do. I love door-to-door. It's fun.
You loved it so much you made a rap song about it, huh?
Oh, you know that? Yeah.
Yeah, let me hear that thing.
You want to hear it?
Yeah, where you got it? You got it right here? We'll play it on the YouTube so they can hear it. But I want Siri, I don't know if you can
funny.
get, I don't know
Lee
if
will
you can
put
play
you
it.
on the spot.
Yeah, let me.
Here's a station just for you.
Uh-oh. Siri's very opinionated.
I don't know if Siri can connect to Siri.
Oh, here. I don't know what the volume area is, but that's a...
Let's get the reaction.
So I made a good song for everybody.
Oh.
All the sales guys want to get out there, pump your guys out there, get them up, banging doors and knocking doors. We did this one for them. Banging, get it, banging, get it, banging, get it. Yeah, so you did a song called "Bang and Get It."
Hide your kids, hide your wives.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. But yo, hey, I'll tell you real quick. It's probably hard to hear on the audio, but check this out. Type in Mike Smooth, MikeSmoove. Type in "Bang and Get It." I did this song. I think the audio's gonna be bad here if we do it here. But I did this song. I did an entrepreneur song. I did one for dope marketing. I got a couple other people asking me to do some songs, but this one's pretty hard though.
Bang and get it, bang and get it.
Yeah. So I'll turn it off now because I don't know the audio's probably not. It's going to sound like that weird noise over here. But
bro, one of my favorite fucking things on the internet right now.
What's that?
Is these fucking gangsters. They'll be out on Crenshaw and there's this one cholo and he'll come up on them. He'll roll up on them. You don't know what they got in their pocket. You don't know what's going on. He goes, "Do you want the bang? Do you want the bang, man? No, do you want the bang? Like, no, for real. Do you want to bang, man?" Yeah. And the whole time they're like, "Yeah, I'll fucking bang with you. I'll bang you, motherfucker. I'll bang you." And at the end, right when he's about to get popped, he pulls out a bang. He goes, here's a bang, man. You want to bang? You want to bang, man? No, don't fucking do that around here, man. Don't fucking do that around here.
Yeah, you almost got hurt.
Almost got hurt. No, but we're gonna bang and get it, man. Hardcore door to door.
Yeah, no, that song is hard. It's fun too because I'll just throw these things out there and I'm kind of like modest about it because whatever. But like it's funny. I appreciate the love though because I get a lot of love. Like when we used to win the storm, I had like 2 or 3 people coming up to me and they're like, "Man, we were bringing that song here. Oh my guys are hype. I play that at our Saturday meetings before we go out. We listen to that. Everybody gets out and they knock doors and you got some bars or whatever." So I did that song. Did a couple songs for some other people and
you have to do it. You have to do a music video for some of your content.
Yeah, we will.
A little bang and get it.
Yeah, I will. That's part 2. Yes, I got some. Definitely got to have the content to go with it. That's why I'm kind of reserved with it. I got some things coming with some other people, and I got some I'm working on for you too because I know you want to get something. So we gonna.
Okay, so you ever listen to Sway in the Morning?
Sway in the Morning, yeah.
You know what is it? The 5 Fingers of Death?
Yeah. Oh, this guy.
What is that? What is that, dog?
I don't know, man. I don't got cable. What's that called?
It's where they just put the beats on and they make the guest rap.
Oh, is that what they do?
Yeah.
Leehaight. I think I heard of that.
Could you step up to the freestyle bars or?
Man, I can't. I don't know. It's funny. We're on camera. I'd never freestyle. It was whack. We're going to cut it out or something. But we can rap together.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yo, whatever.
It's all good. We ain't rappers. We're roofers.
Okay.
But that's why we'll leave it. Okay. But you want to do a performance at the American Dream Conference? Write me a song.
I could do that. I halfway started working on one. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
We can do that.
Listen, guys, Mike's going to be at the American Dream Conference September 1st through 3rd. It's at the Luminary, and it's going to be a new concept, man. You got to embrace it or face it, and that's artificial intelligence is coming. Before it was just technology, but when I talk about the algorithm, it's listening. Banks are collapsing, real estate's expensive, interest rates are going up, and like, dude, the way you build wealth is a recession-proof market.
Yeah,
it is, man.
Yeah, and the thing is, this really is recession-proof. I mean, during COVID, people, it's
because it's like billions of dollars in claims, and then right now there's all these people are going to be priced out of their mortgage, and what we're doing is we're acquiring a lot of our clients' homes. And I know that Anthony's been talking a lot about this, but what we've been doing is we've been, even without a bank, and it's called subject to. Just like we teach contingency agreements, a subject to real estate deal is a deal where you find a homeowner. I found a lady the other day. She had her house paid for. She was a lunch lady millionaire. Wow. And I'm like, you could just move into your condo and I can put this amount of down and then we can take over payments and then you have this much to live and you got this paid for and I'll just go ahead and rent this thing out and you can just go on and move. And this is after I tried to sell her a roof. Because if you just try to knock on somebody's door with that pitch, they might be like, But when you tell them that you can get them a free roof, when you walk them through the claims process, all of your old clients are leads to come up in a recession. Wow. And so we've got a guy by the name of Ben Malla, $250 million man. We got Wes Watson. You know Wes?
No, I don't know that name.
He got out of prison at 35, but he's got a million followers. But he's a fitness and a discipline, but also an internet coach that basically makes 8 figures a year and was in prison at 35.
That's
so
dope.
yeah, kind of outside the industry. Also Dave Meltzer, who he was trained by Jerry Maguire. He went into business with Warren Moon. He built a basically construction and development arm that had him worth $100 million by the age of like 30, and then he lost it all and had to rebuild it. And this guy's coming to speak, and he's like a mentor, and I'm really pumped about it. But the bottom line is we're gonna have fights. You know, maybe
I seen last year. They look good.
Hey, dude. Did you see me getting a beer bottle busted on my head?
I seen that on stage.
Hey,
yeah.
dude.
That was a good match. So I actually watched before I came here. I watched the match with you and BDR.
Yeah.
And that was you guys rolling around.
Well, I went a little bit too hard on the takedown and
Yeah.
on the slam. And he held on to the guillotine and rolled me. I had to reestablish position, get out of the...
Hey, that's fun to watch.
Hey, look, I was in front of Jocko. I was in front of Dustin Poirier. I was in front of all the audience. I just didn't want to lose. And this time around, I don't know who I'm going for. If you're watching this, dude, maybe it's you. Maybe you want to step up. Last year, we had...
Well, you did jiu-jitsu.
We can't pay amateur fighters, okay? But we can give sales bonuses.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm giving out $10,000 in sales bonuses.
Good. Yeah,
we got like knockout of the night sales bonus.
Okay.
BMF sales bonus. We got all kinds of shit, dog.
Oh, that's dope, man. That's hard.
I
like that.
Anyways, we want guys. If you train boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, or hell, I don't give a fuck if you train or not, man.
But last year you did. I saw there's 3 fights. You guys did jiu-jitsu, right? And
there was a whole card. Those are just some of the highlights. So we had probably 8 to 10 fights.
Oh, I saw 3.
Yeah, so we just pulled out some highlight moments, and basically this time around, I mean, I may go MMA. I'm getting to my 3rd kickboxing fight, so I wanted to get like 4 kickboxing fights and be a blue belt in jiu-jitsu before I was like gonna do MMA. But I'm open to it. Yeah. You know, I don't know who it's gonna be, but maybe it's you, motherfucker.
Oh shit, I like it, man.
Hey man, we're gonna interview your buddy here next, but you have to come back, bro. This is a good episode, guys. If y'all enjoyed this, like and subscribe. How can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on the internet. The company's Repair King, my Repair King, Instagram, Mr. Mike Smooth, MrMikeSmove, Facebook Mike Holmes. So you can hit me if you get somebody's curious. You're in Minnesota, call me, text me. I don't care. 612-250-8544. But I'm here, man.
What's up?
I love to help other people grow, man.
Hell yeah, man.
Relationships. That's all it's about.
That's what it's all about, buddy. Well, thanks for coming by here, man.
Hey, man, thanks.